What's going on, guys? This is day one of the 25 days of Fly Bodies. In today's episode, we're going to talk about why you should get your morning sunlight to set your circadian rhythm. So I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you need to get your morning sunlight. All right. Number one, morning sunlight is like a start button for your brain. The moment sunlight hits your eyes, your circadian clock sends a signal that says it's daytime, time to wake up and be alert. All right, it's kind of a dull one. But number two, sunlight releases cortisol, but the good kind. A controlled morning cortisol spike gives you energy, improves focus, and sets the pace for your entire day. This is something that you need to know, that the morning time you get a cortisol activation response. And that's when your cortisol actually peaks in the day because it tells your body it needs to wake up. So when you get outside, it actually activates a little more cortisol and pumps it up a little bit. Okay. Going back to the cortisol thing, I know some people are think about cortisol as being bad, but your body actually produces cortisol as a fight or flight response. And so your body needs cortisol to do things. It's not terrible. It's not a terrible thing, because most people think of cortisol and they're like, oh, stress, bad. No. There is good stress, so don't think of cortisol as always bad. So cortisol is a good thing. You just don't want high elevated levels of cortisol all the time. So clarification there. Number three, 10 to 15 minutes of morning sun can improve sleep at night. The morning light sets off a timer in your brain, and 12 to 14 hours later, melatonin kicks in, making it easier to fall asleep. Very cool. All right, number four, you need about 1,000 to 10,000 lux of natural light to properly set your circadian rhythm, which is pretty cool. So lux are it's how bright light is into your eyes, and actually indoors light only gives off about 100 to 300 lux of light. So that's why going outside is so important. You need your eyes to know that it's daytime, and when you go outside, it's around 1,000 to 10,000 lux of light, depending on how cloudy it is that day. So inside, if you're just looking outside a window, you don't really get that same effect as when you go outside. Stick your head out the door for 2 to 10 minutes if you can, if you only have that much time. But if you can go for a 15-minute walk, do it. All right. Number five, the sun literally trains your hormones. It tells your body when to be alert, focus, digest food, move, rest. It's your oldest coach. That's kind of cool. I like that. Number six, 42% of Americans are vitamin D deficient, and sunlight is the number one natural way to boost vitamin D. Vitamin D supports mood, immunity, bones, and brain function. We are inside creatures. It is no doubt that we are inside 80 to 90% of the time these days, depending on what your job is. So when you can get outside, you actually get a double dose of circadian rhythm and vitamin D if you're wearing a short sleeve shirt and shorts. So very good for vitamin D intake. Number seven, morning sunlight boosts serotonin. Serotonin equals mood, motivation, and a sense of well-being. This is why people who get morning light often feel happier and more stable. I'm telling you, I'm not I did it this morning where I stepped outside, and when the sun is just in your face and it's not 1,000 degrees outside, it feels good on your body, and also you just feel better. All right. Getting outside is super, super good for your mood, serotonin levels, boost serotonin, okay? Number eight, humans spend 90% of their time indoors. We just talked about this. We basically live in caves with Wi-Fi. That's what it says. Getting outside is biological correction. Your body needs it. Number nine, the sun has been regulating human sleep for 200,000 plus years. But only in the last 150 years did artificial light confuse the system. Morning light resets it back to normal. Like this said, only for the last 150 years did we use we didn't have natural light as our only source of light, which is pretty crazy. All right. So that natural light outside is really, really good for you. Number 10, and the final one, even cloudy days give you 10 times more circadian light than indoors. If you can see your shadow, even a faint one, you're getting enough light to activate your clock. All right. So even when it's cloudy outside, you're still getting that sunlight, still waking yourself up. If you can get outside within 30 to 60 minutes of waking up, that's awesome. That doesn't mean you have to or everything's lost. Even if you get outside, anytime before 11 or 12, because that's apparently the dead zone of getting your circadian rhythm set in the mornings. Before 11 o'clock would be awesome for about 10 to 15 minutes. If you can, go for a 30-minute walk. It's very, very good to get a walk in and get that sunlight at the same time. All right. Now I know some people are already thinking There are things that prevent me from getting my sunlight. Well, I'm here for you, and I want to talk about 10 barriers that make morning sunlight hard and why people should plan for them. Early work schedules. If someone has to leave the house before sunrise or dive straight into work, sunlight can feel impossible to fit in. Plan for it. Get even 2 to 3 minutes once the sun rises during a break, commute, or quick step outside. Number 2, parenting demands. Now, this is a big one because I know things get really, really busy in the morning, and getting sunlight is probably the last thing you're thinking about. You're trying to get your kids ready, get them to school. All right. Kids, morning chaos, daycare drop-offs, mornings can get even eaten alive. Take the kids outside for 1 to 2 minutes while loading the car or before walking back into the house. Now, that sounds pretty simple, but I know mornings can be super crazy. So if you can't, if you have to get your kids ready to go and get them out the door, get them to wherever they need to be, and then doing your sunlight, that's probably the easiest way to do it. But if you can get your kids involved, that's great, because then you're helping set their circadian rhythm, because I'm sure they're just going from the house to the car, to the school, and then they're in school all day. So this would actually be beneficial for them too. Number 3, weather plus seasons. Winter sunrise is late, and cloudy days make light seem weaker, even though clouds still give you plenty of lux. Aim for later in the morning when the sun is higher. Cloudy light still works, okay? So like this just said, if you can plan for a little later in the day when it's winter months, that's great. Number 4, indoor routines. Coffee, showers, long email lists, everything happens indoors. All right. Drink coffee outside instead of at the counter. If you can take a phone call on a walk, that's super, super helpful. Okay. I know that's not always possible for people, but take a phone call on a walk, drink your coffee outside, just take those breaks and go outside. Okay. It might be a little weird because most people don't do that, but if you can, do it. Number 5, sedentary morning habits. People grab their phone and sit and scroll. Use sunlight as the reward for checking the first email or after sending one quick message. I like that. So if you're going to get on your phone, maybe just try to go outside and get on your phone if that's something you want to do in the morning. All right, that's a good one. It's not like a groundbreaking one, but number 6, no access to outdoor space. Apartments, no balconies, no yard. Stepping outside isn't always easy for people. So I get that. Some people live in a city. Some people live in a really covered area with trees or behind a mountain, something like that. Open a window fully, stick your head outside, or go to the sidewalk for 2 minutes to get a sunlight break. Number 7, time pressure and rushing. People wake up late and feel immediately behind. All right. The plan for this is set a 1 minute rule. If you're in a rush, still get the 1 minute of sunlight. Consistency beats intensity. Number 8, morning workouts done indoors. So this is something that a lot of people do, is they'll do their morning workout indoors. And so if you can get outside when you're doing your morning workout, super helpful. I know for Fly Bodies, when we do our workouts in the morning at one of the schools we work at, we go outside and do some stadiums, and it's really, really fun because you get that fresh air, you get that sunlight most of the time, and it just feels like a totally different experience than just working out indoors. Okay, so if you can get a morning workout outdoors, that is awesome. All right. This says walk to the gym entrance in the sunlight before going in. All right, or cool down outside afterwards. So you can get a stretch or cool down outside after your workout. Winter depression or low motivation. Ironically, the people who need sunlight the most are often the least motivated to get it. So to plan for this, pair sunlight with a habit you already enjoy. Your morning coffee, music, a quick walk with a podcast. Do those things outside. It's called pairing something that you love doing with something that you maybe not like to do or you're trying to do more of. So if you want to listen to a good book, be like, okay, well, the only time I can listen to this book is when I'm walking outside or when I'm sitting outside or something like that. So it's good to pair those things that you're already doing to something that you want to do more of. All right. The last thing, 10, lack of awareness. Most people don't know that indoor light is too weak to set your circadian rhythm. Once someone learns this, they start scheduling sunlight as a real health habit. So that's also something that I think most people don't even realize, is that the indoor light that we see is, sometimes like the LEDs they're pretty bright and can wake you up and up your cortisol, but the outside light is so much more effective when it comes to the intensity of light that you're getting. And so now hopefully that you need that morning sunlight, you're going to plan for some type of walk outside or standing outside for at least 2 minutes. That's it, 2 minutes. And if you can stand outside longer, great. Don't stare at the sun. That would be bad. You don't want to blind yourself. But sunlight is very important for our overall health. And that's day one of the 25 days of Fly Bodies. Thank you for watching and get after it.